Hey guys, welcome back to Miss Morrison Reads. So I won't be able to read much this weekend, so I really wanted to hop on now and finish chapter 7 of Patina for you. So when we left off, Patina was with the girls at school that she's not really friends with, but they're working on a project together. So they were talking about Frida. That's who their project is on. Let's see here. I pulled out my notebook and started running down more facts about Frida, filling in some of Becca's holes. She also went to one of the top schools in Mexico. It was probably like this one. Becca nodded. She was in. The other two were still holding out. I tried one more time to make a connection. And that's where she met Diego Rivera, who at the time was painting a mural in the school auditorium. That's the fat man, right? Becca interjected, excited to share more of what she must have seen in the movie. But it came off kind of mean, so she added, I mean, I didn't mean it like that, but that's him, right? Right. And what's really interesting is she ended up marrying him once she healed from the accident. Not right away, but a few years after. The fat man, TT chimed in, just to confirm that we were still talking about the same Diego. What did he look like? Becca sifted through the papers until finding one with his picture and stabbed his face with her finger. Him? Him? She could have done better than him. And he looked so old, Taylor scoffed. He was old, 20 years older, I explained. Taylor leaned forward, the drama of that kind of relationship seeming to send some kind of electrical charge through her. Suddenly, Frida was a little more interesting. TT pinched the corner of a picture of Frida, the one where her neck is too long and a small monkey's looking over her shoulder, and turned the picture around. I mean, she wasn't like, she definitely could have done better than that guy, she said, studying Frida's face. Yeah, I agree, but he was a genius with a paintbrush, and I guess that's why she chose him. People used to call their relationship the elephant and the dove. Becca's eyes lit up, like Beauty and the Beast. Taylor grimaced. I guess, she said, and just then it occurred to me that we were all leaning in, analyzing Frida and Diego's faces, looking through the pictures, discussing something interesting. Sure, it was about their crazy love story, but still, it was a start. And if it weren't for the piercing sound of the fire alarm suddenly going off, we might have been able to get some of the other cool things about Frida Kahlo. But at least we decided whose house we would go over to do the go over to somebody's house portion of the project, Becca's. Taylor and TT basically begged Becca to host it at her place, which I guess made sense because it was right across the street from the school. Becca said the best day to do it at her house would be the next day, Wednesday, because her grandmother was making cookies, which TNT said was perfect because Thursday was Taylor's mother's birthday and Friday was Friday. I told them I could do it, but I'd have to come by after track practice. And it wasn't for the alarm suddenly screaming over us, maybe, just maybe, they would have asked about my running. But I guess fire drills are important too. At least they are to 6 year olds, specifically 6 year olds named Madison Jones. But just in case there is a real fire, it's good we practice, right? Maddie went on and on in the car after school. From the moment I met her in the hallway, she'd been blabbing, so excited about the hustle and bustle she'd experienced earlier in the day. Fire drill, fire drill, fire drill. It's like that was the only thing that happened in the north wing of Chester. I think we should also maybe practice stop, drop, and roll with Miss S, Maddie barreled on, rolling her hands in the air, just in case somebody don't make it out in time, especially since she make us all walk so slow. I don't know about everybody else, but if there's a for real fire, I'm out of there. Momley snorted. I can't do it. Maybe that's not it. But what about me? I asked. Maddie thought about it for a second. Patty, I can lift you up, but I don't think I can lift you and run. Not yet, I replied, sliding one arm out of my shirt sleeve. Right, not yet. Maddie flexed one of her arms and squeezed her bicep. The ride to MLK Park was the one thing that got Maddie to stop yakking about fire drills. For some reason, she still geeked out at the fancy houses we passed on the way, especially the big white ones, their wooden castle doors with knobs like golden fists, the fountains and wraparound driveways, the windows, no curtains, like they want everybody to know what they got. But can't nobody really see nothing anyway because of the gates. The tops of the metal posts curling up into the air like witch fingers, and in front of the gate shrubs, and then the mailbox with the address, which is always just one of two numbers, like 6 Chester Avenue or 13 Chester Place. And as we moved through town, the numbers continued to climb as the neighborhood changed. From mansions to weird cereal box communities where every house looked like a different version of the one next to it. Then on to older neighborhoods like mine, where the houses are still nice but have been around for a while, so still made of brick. My address has 3 numbers, 685 Wallery Street, but Ma's address over in Barnaby Terrace has 4, 5014, and I think Ghost is something like 5 or 6. It's like the less numbers in your bank account, the more numbers in your address. Practice was a little less silly today. Well, it got less silly after warm up laps, stretching, and the usual clowning around. Well, Lou was clowning Curran. Yo, Curran, how come yesterday Coach ain't make y'all do that dancing thing Patty and Crystal did? He asked, winding up and tossing a live grenade into the mix. He had one of his legs pulled back behind him doing a final stretch. You mean what he made you and Ghost do? Curran jabbed. Because we don't need all that on the boys' relay, Curran bragged, cutting his eyes at Britt Brat. Oh, y'all don't? That was Crystal's cue to jump in. Britt Brat didn't pay it no mind, and neither did I, because Curran was always trying us. Sorry, I keep saying his name differently.
You can head to your 7th period class. Again, you can head to your 7th period class at 1:10. Thank you.
Guess y'all heard that. It's not 1:10 yet, so hopefully I can finish this chapter. Karan. His name is Karan. Okay. Karan was always trying us. Deja bucked a little, but Crystal beat her to it. You do know that you can't keep taking off early in a relay race, right? If you jump the gun more than once, y'all shot. More than once, y'all shot. Is shot. What? Oh, y'all shot is shot. Like your chance is over. Crystal laser-eyed Karan, and everybody know you a gun-jumping fool. We all laughed, everyone but Sonny, who was chillin', trapping his laughter in his face, as usual, so nobody knew what he was really thinking. Crystal moved closer, put her hand on Karan's shoulder like a concerned parent. Seriously, is there going to be one race where you don't false start? Everybody laughed again, but Karan didn't find it funny at all. Seriously, Crystal No Speed, is there going to be one day that your breath don't smell like boiling track shoes? Karan slapped a hand over his nose. He zinged her with that one, and even though it was super petty, all of us were yikesing from the blowback. Then he turned to Ghost. And I know you ain't laughing, Ghost. Maybe you need more practice with your dance partner because you ran the whole race before you realized nobody was running with you the whole race. Ouch. I can't front. Just thinking of Lou and Ghost holding each other like that made me want to burst into laughter. But I held it in. But not everyone did, the loudest coming from Aaron, Freddie, and Mikey, who all began fake waltzing. Whatever, it was his first race. His first race. Lou came to Ghost's defense, and I was right there for the follow-up. Ever. I dropped in to drive home the point. Nah, it's cool, Ghost said, calling off his newbie goons. How about this, Karan? How about you pick the distance and we line up and... Okay, knuckleheads. Coach cut him off, sauntering over, swinging his stopwatch. Let's get done with the funnin' so we can get down with the running. I swear if you all could move your legs as fast as you move your lips, we wouldn't even have to practice. Time for Coach's daily pep talk. We got 3 practices left before the next meet. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Then it's go time. If you came here to play around, he looked at Lou, the instigator. When Saturday comes, don't cry when I don't run you. If you came to be lazy, I'll make sure you have a comfortable seat this weekend at the meet. Are we clear? We all nodded. It's Technique Tuesday.
Mia Ibarra, you're needed at the office to check out, please. Mia Ibarra, please come to the office to check out.
Okie doke. It's Technique Tuesday. I watched some of your forms break down last week, out there looking like wet noodles. I don't want to see that this week. Let's keep it tight. He tucked his elbows in, stuck his chest out. Keep your stride wide and remember to breathe. Come off the block like you got a point to prove. Coach then told the relay teams what Coach Witt had already told us last practice, that we would also be working on baton passing. Thankfully, he didn't mention dancing. Me, Brittback, Crystal, and Deja went off to one end of the track with Coach Witt. She was holding small orange cones. I lost my place that quick. Not the kind that you see at construction sites or in school cafeterias whenever there was a spill. These were small. Where the heck do you even get such tiny cones? Excuse me. If Maddie saw them, she'd want them for pretend megaphones. Okay, ladies, I need you all to pay attention because what I'm going to show you could make or break you, she said. Then Whit placed one of the cones just before the curve on the track, and another, I don't know, maybe 20 feet into the curve. This is the handoff zone, she said, coming back from the second cone, or as Coach calls it, the hot zone. This is the amount of space you have to hand off the baton. Now, I know the three of y'all, Whit pointed to Crystal, Deja, and Britt Brat, are used to standing at the starting line with your arm out waiting for the stick. But this year, Coach and I have decided to shake things up. You're going to run the 800 relay as if it were a 100 relay. We looked at Wit like she had grown a second head. Once she realized that none of us understood what she was talking about, she explained. Which I mean is, we're going to do blind handoffs. Wait, what you mean blind? Daisha asked. "Now she 'bout to blindfold us, y'all," Crystal joked. "No, I'm about to show y'all how to win. That is, if you can shut up and listen. Especially you, Crystal, seeing as though you run the slowest leg." Crystal sucked her teeth burned. Probably would have sucked her teeth hard enough to turn her whole face inside out if she could. "Now watch and learn," Whit said and started demonstrating the blind handoff, a technique that usually only sprinters do during relays because of the momentum of the oncoming runner. The runner who's receiving the baton has to time it exactly right. Start sprinting before the runner with the baton reaches the line so there's no slowdown. This is why I had you dance, ladies. Now, Crystal, you're coming in fast. Wait, we're running the 800, not the 400? Britt Bat said. I mean, how fast do you really expect us to be coming in? By the time I get to the final stretch, I'm rigged. This is the hardest race to run, Britt Bat argued, her arms spread wide. As if what the I nodded, thinking the exact same thing. The 800 ain't no dash. As fast as you possibly can. Our job is to run to win. If that means you have to run until your legs detach from your body, then that's what you do. Whit's face went dead serious. Because the rest of your relay team is dependent on you. Got it? Britt nodded sheepishly. So did I. Coach Whit wasn't playing no games today. So, Crystal, pretend you're coming in. Final stretch. Coach Whit gave Crystal the baton, stood beside her. You want to line your right arm up with Patty's left shoulder. Now, whoever's receiving has the hard job because they have to time the transition. In this case, it's Patty. When you see Crystal about to enter the red zone where this cone is, you got to take off full speed. If you wait too long, you two will collide and get jumbled. If you go too early, the person passing the baton won't be able to catch up to hand it off. Make sense? We all nodded. My eyes are starting to cross. I should have put on my glasses looking at this iPad, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, here we go. Now, she went on, what this means for the incoming runner is that you have to dig deep and run with everything you got on the final stretch. Because once you yell out, stick, you still have to run fast enough to catch the next runner who will have her arm out, but she'll also have fresh legs. So we all have to feel each other out. Know when to go, know when to hand off. It's waltzing without touching, just moving in rhythm. Now let's run it slow mo a few times. Coach Whit moved Crystal back 20 more feet and told her to jog toward me. Once Crystal got to the first cone, I started jogging. Good, Coach Whit said. Now call it. Stick, Crystal said, no oomph behind it. No. Whit thrust her arm out across Crystal's body like Momley does to me after slamming on the brakes. I said call it, not say it. Whit took the baton and stepped back a few feet. Stick, stick, she shouted, running toward us. People are going to be screaming. You need to make sure your teammate hears you. Now run it again. Oh my goodness, y'all, this chapter is long. Okay, now run it again. I'm going to read one more page for y'all. When stick is called out, my job is to stretch my left arm behind me without looking while running full speed until Crystal slaps the baton in my hand. It's tricky because our running has to match up. She has to have enough juice and enough time to get to me. We ran it again and again, faster and faster, working on the timing of it all. Deja had to practice the handoff to Britt Brat, and Britt Brat had to practice the handoff to Crystal. Now remember, these cones won't be on the track, so you're going to have to learn to eyeball when the transition should happen. Whit said, picking them up. This time, full speed. Run it. She told Deja to start back at the 200-meter mark, outside the lane, and do the handoff to Britt Brat. It wasn't bad. Then she said Britt Brat do the same to practice the handoff to Crystal. Stick! Was Britt Brat's way of calling out, which made us all laugh, even Whit. But hey, whatever works. Next, it was my turn to receive the handoff from Crystal. But when she reached the red zone and I broke out running, she couldn't catch me. Try it again, Whit said. So we did, and I got out too far ahead of her again. I wasn't trying to, but she's just slower. Yo, what you trying to do? Crystal asked, panting. What you talking about? I'm waiting on you to call it out. No, you trying to play me. You overrunning. Overrunning? That ain't even a thing. Maybe you underrunning.